So now let us go for the third colligative property. It is a depression of a freezing point. So first thing you must know what is a freezing point here. So in a boiling point, we know boiling point is the temperature at which the vapor pressure is equal to the atmospheric pressure. Vapor pressure of a liquid. When it equal to the atmospheric pressure, then the solution or liquid will boil. Okay. So there we have studied the colligative property is the elevation in a boiling point. Now here next is it is a depression of freezing point. Freezing point means when a liquid is converted into solid. So the conversion takes place from liquid to the solid, and at a particular temperature it starts the converting to the solid. So that point is called as a freezing point. Or freezing point is an dynamic equilibrium between the solid phase and a liquid phase. It is a point where the solid phase and liquid phase are in a equilibrium. Freezing point of a substance is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of substance in its liquid phase is equal to the vapor pressure in the solid phase. So that is the freezing point. Liquid phase and a solid phase vapor pressures are same. So that is called as a temperature. That temperature is known as a freezing point. Okay. And a solution will freeze when its vapor pressure equals to the vapor pressure of a pure frozen solvent. Frozen means a solid form of the solvent. Neer is a solvent. Ice is that is a frozen solvent. Okay. So let us take about that now. So depression of a freezing point. So depression of freezing point decreases. That is a depression. Okay. Freezing point of a substance is the temperature at which vapor pressure of substance in its liquid phase. Vapor pressure in a liquid phase. Vapor pressure. So we know what is vapor pressure. Liquid phase the vapor pressure is equal to the vapor pressure in a solid phase. Suppose if you have taken ice and water, ನೀರಿನ vapor pressure, that is liquid phase, vapor pressure at a liquid phase is equal to vapor pressure in a solid phase. Under ice, solid phase is ice here. So equal to vapor pressure of a solid phase. So that is known as a freezing point of at that temperature. Temperature and a freezing point at the nature. Okay. A solution will freeze when its vapor pressure equals to the vapor pressure of a pure frozen solvent. Frozen solvent and a solid solvent. Frozen freeze frozen solvent. A solution will freeze. Yavag solid agattado when its vapor pressure equals to the vapor pressure of a pure frozen solvent. The vapor pressure the same idre. Just similar to the boiling point iddange illi frozen solvent ge frozen solvent anta hote. Okay. Now according to Raoult's law, when a non-volatile solid is added to the solvent, solvent ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಹ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ದ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಆವಾಗ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೌಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಲಾ, when a solid is added to the solvent, its vapor pressure decreases, hence freezing point of solvent decreases. Okay. So let us take with the graph here. Okay. So how to draw the graph or how to derive this expression. See here. So we have taken the vapor pressure and temperature. Vapor pressure against the temperature graph is taken. So first is a pure liquid or liquid in the solvent. Pure liquid ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಬಂದಂಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಇದರದ್ದು ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಆನ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್, ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ಸಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಫರ್ದರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್, ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫ್ರೋಸನ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್. here it is frozen solvent, or sometimes that is also called as solid solvent. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ solid ಆಯ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ solid ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So that is temperature is considered as a T0F. That is a freezing point of a pure solvent. So this is a solvent type. Now when you add some solute, or when you add a solid, non-volatile solid ಅನ್ನ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ dissolve ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇದು ಒಂದು as it is ಅದರ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ತಗೊಂಡು. Next we are going to add some solid solvent, non-volatile solute to this solvent. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, how you are going to get the graph now? So now the graph is you are going to get the solution graph is this is the temperature here, and if you go on decreasing, so the graph is like this. So solid ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, this is a solution now. This is a solution, hence it is having a solvent plus some solute. Now you are going to get that temperature, means some this temperature it becomes a solid, that is equilibrium between the solid solvent and a solution. So here this temperature, you are going to get it a solid agata at this point. It is equilibrium. Here this is equilibrium, frozen solvent and liquid solvent. Here liquid solution and frozen solution, it is equilibrium now here. So that is a solid agatili. So that is the temperature we are. Now ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯಿತು, ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸಸ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಇನ್ ಅ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ದಿಸ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ is a delta TF. So similar what we have done in the elevation in boiling point, rest of the thing is same here, derivation part. So there is a decrease in the freezing point, and that is called as a depression in a freezing point. Decrease in the freezing point of what? Solvent. Solvent most ಮುಂಚೆ ಈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಲಿಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ ನಂತರ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಈ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So there is a decrease in the freezing point. So this difference is known as a depression in a freezing point. Okay. So now let us derive the expression for this, just like similar to the elevation in boiling point ಮಾಡಿದಾಗೆ. If a T0F is a freezing point of pure solvent and TF is a freezing point of a solution, okay, this we have mentioned, then the difference in that T0F minus TF equal to delta TF, that is called as a depression in a freezing point. Depression in a freezing point. So this is known as a depression in a freezing point. Next, depression in freezing point is a colligative property. Colligative property is applicable for a dilute solution. So once again here, for dilute solution, again there is a depression is in a freezing point is directly proportional to the molality of the solute. So molality, so therefore we can take that is a delta TF is directly proportional to molality. Okay, so or delta TF equal to remove this proportionality constant, we are proportionality sign, we are using proportionality constant, that is delta TF equal to KF into M. Okay, so what is KF now? So that is known as where KF is a molal depression constant. Molal depression constant, or it is also one more name for this is a cryoscopic constant. Cryoscopic constant antanu ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Okay, so once again here the SI unit of this is same here, Kelvin kg per mole. So this is a delta TF equal to KF into M, that is the depression in freezing point equal to molal depression constant into molality. Now ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, next our aim is to convert that molality, apply the formula of molality, convert that molality into number of moles. Okay, so number of moles ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, there we are using a mass divided by molar mass. Okay, so this concept we are using for a derivation part. So now let us consider if W2 gram of if W2 gram of solute of molar mass M2 is dissolved in a W1 gram of solvent. W2 gram of solute. See, I told 2 refer for solute, 2 for solids. So W2 gram of solute anna, ast gram anna of molar mass. Molar mass is nothing but sum of the atomic mass. So molar mass is M2. Is dissolved in a W1 gram of solvent. This is in gram. W1 gram of solvent. Then molality, definition of molality equal to number of moles divided by mass of solvent in kg. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ divided by 1000 ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So W1 divided by 1000 is converted into kg of a solvent. If you simplify this, so we are going to get this expression. Okay. Now we know here delta TF equal to KF into M. So I am going to substitute there. So therefore, what we can write now? Therefore, delta TF equal to KF into M andre enide M jagadalli. So I am using this. M is a W2 1000 divided by W1 M2. So this is the expression for depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point is nothing but delta TF equal to KF into M. M andre no same, we have used same thing in the elevation in boiling point. Illi T delta TF, F for freezing, KF for freezing. So formula same agutte. Alli delta TB idre KB bandide, udididella same ide. So this normally they will ask a problem on this, I told. So therefore you have to remember the formula. Alli delta TF mattu KF, delta TB mattu KB bartade, udididella same ide. Okay. So this is about the depression in freezing point. So when you add a solute, the freezing point decreases. Freezing point of the solvent decreases. Yes. Now let us take a problem on this. Calculate the mass of ascorbic acid to be dissolved in a 75 gram of acetic acid to lower its melting point by 1.5 degrees centigrade. The KF value of acetic acid is given 3.9 Kelvin kg per mole. So once again read the question properly and try to understand what is given. ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ಮತ್ತು ಥಿಯರಿಗೆ ರಿಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ಕಾರ್ಬಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್. ಅಸ್ಕಾರ್ಬಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡನ್ನು ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಂದರೆ ಅಸ್ಕಾರ್ಬಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ W2. ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ದ ಮಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ಕಾರ್ಬಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ W2 ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಏನು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟ್, 75 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸಿಟಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್. ಸೊ ಅಸ್ಕಾರ್ಬಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಗ್ರಾಮನ್ನು ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ 75 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸಿಟಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್. ಅಸಿಟಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್. ಸೊ ಅದೇನಾಯ್ತಾದ್ರೆ W1 ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್, ಈಸ್ ಅ 75 ಗ್ರಾಮ್. To lower its melting point by 1.5 degree centigrade. Lower its melting point and already ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿಂದ, so delta TF ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Delta TF is a 1.5 degree centigrade. So don't convert it into Kelvin. So you keep it as it is. This is difference ಇದೆ. So ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Delta TF is a 1.5 degree centigrade. Further what, KF ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. KF ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ 3.9 Kelvin kg per mole. Okay. So what is the formula? Delta TF equal to KF W2 1000 W1 M2. Okay. So M2 ಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. Okay. So what is M2 here? M2 is not given. M2 is you have to calculate. Ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid formula ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ it is vitamin C ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, C6H8O6. so M2 equal to its value is 176. okay, so So ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ ಅಥವಾ they will give normally. Okay, now let us find out what is we have to find out W2. So I am going to substitute in that. So W2 equal to ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು rearrange ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. So this is the formula we know. So I will write W2 equal to ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, delta TF into W1 M2 divided by KF into 1000. So that I will write now formula. So W2 equal to delta TF W1 M2 divided by KF into 1000. So you can write this formula also or this formula also. Better ಇದನ್ನು ಬರೆದ ಸರಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು rearrange ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. Now you go for substitution. This if you substitute, delta TF ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ 1.5 W1 75 into M2 176 divided by KF is a 3.9 into 1000. So if you simplify final answers, it becomes a 5.07. ಇದೇನು, you have to write its unit. ಏನಿದೆ W2. Calculate the mass of ascorbic acid. Mass is in terms of a gram. So this is how to solve the problem. Okay. So I will give one more as a homework. You work out. Followed here, you have to use this. First you must know what are the things given. ಇಲ್ಲಿ M2 ನಾವು find out ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು. Ascorbic acid, not acetic acid. Acetic acid is a solvent. ಇದು M2, 2 for a solute. Okay, now let us take the next problem as a homework. One gram of non-electrolyte solute dissolved in a 50 gram of benzene. ಇಲ್ಲಿ solute ಮತ್ತು solvent ಎರಡರದು ಮಾಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಯ್ತು. 1 gram of non-electrolyte solute is dissolved in a 50 gram of a benzene, means solvent type. Lower the freezing point of a benzene by 0.40 Kelvin. So 1 gram ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು 50 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಂಜಿನ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಫ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಎಷ್ಟಾಯಿತು, 0.4 Kelvin ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. The freezing point depression constant of benzene is a 5.1 Kelvin kg per mole. So if you know this unit, you know this is the KF delta KF ಕೊಟ್ಟಂಗಾಯ್ತು. Then find the molar mass of solute. ಈ solute in the molar mass ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ that you have to find out. Okay, so you work out this. So next session I will take about the next colligative property, that is osmosis and osmotic pressure. Yes, now let us go for the next colligative property, that is the fourth one, is osmosis and osmotic pressure. So osmotic pressure is a colligative property, but before that we must know what is the osmosis. Osmosis andre enu anteli. So normally we know the general trend of the nature. So anything will flow or anything will move from a higher to lower. So generally ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಇದ್ರು ಹೈಯರ್ ಇದೆ, ಹೆಚ್ಚುಗಡೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನಿಂದ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನೀರು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಹರಿತದೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್, ಹೈಯರ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಟು ಲೋವರ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಫ್ಲೋ. ಬಟ್ ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್, it is the movement of solvent molecule from dilute solution to concentrated solution through semi-permeable membrane. Very important is here semi-permeable membrane. And what will move here, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, movement of solvent molecule. Solvent molecule will move from dilute solution to concentrated solution. ಸೊ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ದಿಂದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟಿಗೆ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಥ್ರೂ ದಿ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಮ್ಬ್ರೇನ್. ಸೊ ವಿತೌಟ್ ದ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಮ್ಬ್ರೇನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಆಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್. ವೆನೆವರ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಮ್ಬ್ರೇನ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್, ದ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. So that is called as a osmosis. Okay. So osmosis means what? The phenomenon of movement of solvent molecule from dilute solution to concentrated solution. Dilute solution in the concentrated solution through what? Semi-permeable membrane is called osmosis. Then what do you mean by semi-permeable membrane? Semi-permeable membrane andrenu? Normally the generally very well known is the animal membrane. So ನಮ್ಮ ಚರ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ that is nothing but ಚರ್ಮನೂ ಒಂದು semi-permeable membrane ಇದ್ದಂಗೆ. So that is the example. Similarly, we can give some examples are parchment paper, cellophane and animal membrane are some of the example for semi-permeable membrane. So what do you mean by semi-permeable membrane then? A membrane which allows the solvent molecules to pass through and not the solute particle. Solute particle anna move madlikke kodudilla, only solvent molecules. Okay, a membrane which allows the solvent molecules to pass through and not a solute particle is called a semi-permeable membrane. Example: animal membrane, cellophane, parchment paper. So these are some example. Artificially made semi-permeable membrane is also there. So that is a coating of cupric ferrocyanide on a pots, so that acts as a artificial semi-permeable membrane. So semi-permeable membrane ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ? It allows only the solvent molecule to pass through. Solute molecule ಅನ್ನು pass ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, only solvent molecule. Cupric ferrocyanide deposited on a porous pot is an artificial semi-permeable membrane. So then what is a osmosis? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಡೇ ಟು ಡೇ ಲೈಫ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ತೇವೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, when you keep the groundnuts or ಡ್ರೈ ಗ್ರೇಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವಾಟರ್, ನೀವು ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಡಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಶೇಂಗಾನ ನೆನೆಸಾಕಿಟ್ರೆ ಮಾರನೇ ದಿನ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, ಅದು ಉಬ್ಬಿರ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್, ದ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮೊಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ one more example is the tender mangoes or raw mangoes kept in a salt water. ನಾವು ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ, ಉಪ್ಪಿನಕಾಯಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾವಿನಕಾಯಿನ ಉಪ್ಪು ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತದು? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶ್ರಿಂಕ್, ಅದು ಸೈಜ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಅದರ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್. ಸೇಮ್ ವೇ ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಬಾಡಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಲೈನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹಚ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಲೈನ್ಸನ್ನು ಹಚ್ಚಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಲೈನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೈ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ದಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ವೆನ್ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಸಲೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿದ್ರೆ ಸಲೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಯ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್: swelling of groundnuts kept in a water, swelling of dry grapes, okay, kept in water, shrinkage of raw mangoes kept in a salt water, and also blood cell collapses when suspended in a saline water. These are some examples for osmosis. So osmosis ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಮಗೆ. ದೆನ್ ಆಸ್ಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಆಸ್ಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಕೊಲಿಗೇಟಿವ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ, ನಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್. ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫಿನಾಮಿನನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಲಿಕ್ಯೂಲ್ ಫ್ರಾಮ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟೆಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಸೆಮಿ ಪರ್ಮೇಬಲ್ ಮೆಂಬ್ರೇನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡೈಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಹೌ ದ ಆಸ್ಮೋಸಿಸ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬೀಕರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ solvent ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Solvent is a only pure water alate, okay, solvent, and in this thistle funnel. So this is thistle funnel ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದು ಇನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಫನಲ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉದ್ದಿದೆ ಇದು ಲೆಂತ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ thistle funnel. ಇದನ್ನು ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ, ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, and it is a separated solution and solvent are separated by semi permeable membrane. So what happens here, ಈಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾವು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದರದ್ದು ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಈ ಲೆವೆಲು ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇತ್ತು. ದೆನ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಸ್ಮಾಸಿಸ್, solvent molecule will move through the semi-permeable membrane to the higher concentration. Concentration of solution ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ because solute is dissolved. Here it is a only solvent. So therefore movement of solvent through the semi-permeable membrane. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, the volume of the solution increases. ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So height increases from here to here. So this process is known as a osmosis. Okay. Now next what you have to go for the osmotic pressure. So ಈಗೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, suppose if you maintain a pressure here, so that ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಬೇಕು. So you are applying some pressure here so that the solution will not move. How much pressure you have to apply so that you can avoid the movement of solvent? That is known as a osmotic pressure. So ಇದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು, so that is a osmotic pressure. So here go through the once again the same diagram in different way. So I made a, this is a solution, means a solute plus solvent, here pure solvent. What happens, osmosis and ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, here it will move, the solvent molecule will move through this semi-permeable membrane. Okay, so then slowly what happens, this increases, ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, it increases, whereas this volume decreases. Now if you are applying some pressure here, suppose imagine iದೇನಾಯಿತು, so this will move to somewhere here, ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತು. Okay, so the flow of solvent molecule will takes place and this will move upward and something somewhere it is comes here. Now if suppose here it is a piston is there, okay, this is a piston. Suppose ನಾನು ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, so I am applying some pressure here to maintain this condition only. ಇದು ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ, some pressure I am going to apply, so that is called as a osmotic pressure, that is denoted by pi. The pressure is applied on the solution side, that is the excess pressure is applied on the solution side to avoid the flow of a solvent, so that is called as a osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ನಾವು ಪ್ರೆಷರನ್ನು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆನ್ ದ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ದ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪಿಸ್ಟನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ known as a osmotic pressure. Okay, so definition, the osmotic pressure of a solution is a excess pressure that must be applied to solution to prevent osmosis is known as a osmotic pressure. Okay. Now let us go for the derivation of this. We know colligative property is applicable for a dilute solution. So earlier case we have taken the elevation in boiling point irbodu, relative lowering of vapor pressure irbodu, depression of freezing point irbodu. In that case we have taken the concentration term, that is a molality. But in the case of osmotic pressure we are going to use the concentration term is a molarity. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಲಾರಿಟಿ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಮೊಲಾಲಿಟಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. Now let us take a for dilute solution. What happened, it is found that osmotic pressure is proportional to the concentration. Here in this case concentration we are going to consider that is a molarity. Okay, so we have considered that is a pi is the osmotic pressure. If pi is the osmotic pressure and C is the concentration of a solution, concentration means here what, that is a molarity. Okay, so then what is the relation we can get? So it is found that osmotic pressure is a proportional to molarity. Molarity andre which is the one of the concentration term. So let pi be the osmotic pressure and C be the concentration of solution. So pi is the osmotic pressure, C is the concentration of solution. Concentration is in terms of a molarity. Then what relation we can write? We can write the relation is a pi equal to osmotic pressure equal to molarity into R gas constant, T is a temperature in Kelvin. Very important, this is in Kelvin. Normally while solving the problem they may give in terms of a degree centigrade. ಈ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮಿಗೆ ಆಸ್ಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್ಗೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇನ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಕೇಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಕೆಲ್ವಿನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಂಟ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಸ್ 0.083 liter bar per Kelvin per mole, and T is a temperature in Kelvin. So I will call this equation is a 1. Now here what is C means? C is a concentration in terms of a molarity. So therefore now let us go for replacing the value of C in terms of a molarity. Molarity andre no number of moles per liter. Okay, so number of moles equal to what? Mass divided by molar mass. So ಆ concept ಅನ್ನು use ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು now I will go for the derivation of this. Okay, so we know pi equal to CRT. So therefore now we know molarity equal to number of moles divided by volume of solution in a liter. Therefore C can be replaced as C is what here? Molarity equal to N2 by V. What is N2? 2 for what? 2 andre for a solute. So number of moles of solute, V is a volume of a solution in liter, where N2 is a number of moles of solute, V is a volume of solution in liter. Now from this one equation and two equation, what we can replace? So C anna replace ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. From 1 and 2 what we can write is a pi equal to N2 RT by V. ಅಂದರೆ pi equal to CRT ಇತ್ತು, C ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಏನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ N2 by V, RT as it is. Okay, what is N2? N2 is the number of moles. So number of moles formula ಏನಿದೆ? Number of moles is equal to mass divided by molar mass. Okay, so therefore number of moles, if I replace that number of moles ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು replace ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಈಗ N2. What is N2 equal to? N2 is nothing but a number of moles, so that is nothing but if W2 gram of solute of molar mass M2, then we can write a N2 equal to what? Mass divided by molar mass. So ಈಗ pi value ಅನ್ನು pi equal to N2 ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ಇದನ್ನು replace ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. I will replace this with a W2 by M2. Okay, so therefore what we can write is a pi equal to W2 RT by M2 into V, where W2 is a mass of solute and M2 is molar mass of solute. Okay, so this is the expression for a osmotic pressure. So osmosis andre enu? Then osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is a colligative property, not a osmosis. Okay, yes, we have derived the expression for osmotic pressure. How to calculate the osmotic pressure? Okay, so where it is applicable, osmotic pressure equation ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು? So one thing is here, this is one of the very important concept here. It is used to calculate the molar mass of macromolecules. Macro ಅಂದರೆ ಭಾಳ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದು. molar mass of macromolecules. For example polymers ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ molar mass ಇರ್ತದೆ. So and also proteins. So ಈ ರೀತಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ molar mass ಇರುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ we can use this equation, that is osmotic pressure calculation. Okay, so this is one of the application of osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure is widely used to determine the molar mass of macromolecules like proteins, polymers, etc. So formula is what? So we have calculated that pi equal to W2RT divided by M2V. M2 is a molar mass of the solute. Proteins irbodu, polymers irbodu. So a M2 calculate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ we can use this, that is a M2 equal to W2RT divided by pi into V ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Next, few more concepts are here in this osmotic pressures dalli. One of the thing is here isotonic solution. So we came across the word iso andre same. Okay, what is here isotonic solution? Isotonic solutions are two solutions having the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature. If two solutions are there and they are having the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature, means they are called as a isotonic solution. So one of the very good example for this is the saline. Saline contains about a 0.9% sodium chloride. Saline ಅನ್ನು ಏರಿಸ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ. So it should match with the osmotic pressure of the blood cells. ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಹದಲ್ಲಿರುವಂಥ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಆಸ್ಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಲೈನ್ ಆಸ್ಮಾಟಿಕ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಆವಾಗ ಏನು ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದನ್ನು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಯ್ತಂದರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ದ ರೆಡ್ ಬ್ಲಡ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, so it is isotonic with the saline solution. Okay. So this is about the isotonic solution. So isotonic solutions are two solutions having the same osmotic pressure at a given temperature is called a isotonic solution. Example is red blood cells is isotonic with a 0.9% sodium chloride solution, that is a saline solution. So next we are having one more here, two more concepts, that is a hypertonic solution and a hypotonic solution. Hyper means what? More. So if osmotic pressure is higher than that of a given solution, so when we can say this is a possible, there is a comparison irbeku. If it is a two solutions are given, one solution is having more higher osmotic pressure, higher the osmotic pressure than the other, so then they are called as a hypertonic solution. So example is one of the example is a shrinkage of a tender mangoes. Shrinkage of tender mangoes kept in a salt water is an example for a hypertonic solution. Next is a hypotonic solution. Hypotonic solution means what? It is also same, comparing with the two solutions. When you compare two solutions, the solution whose osmotic pressure is lower than that of the given solution, then that is called as a hypotonic solution. ಅಲ್ಲಿ shrinkage ಹೇಳಿತ್ತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ swelling ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Example is a swelling of dry grapes kept in water or swelling of any grains kept in water. So this is about the hypertonic and a hypotonic solution. So hypertonic solution, the solution whose osmotic pressure is higher than that of a given solution is a definition of a hypertonic solution. Comparing two solutions, if one of the solutions is having a more osmotic pressure than the given solution, then that is called as a hypertonic solution. Example for this is a shrinkage of a tender mangoes kept in a salt water. Next, same type of hypotonic solution. The solution whose osmotic pressure is lower than that of given solution is known as a hypotonic solution. So example, swelling of grains kept in water. So this is about the hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution and isotonic solution. So next is a reverse osmosis. So we know the osmosis means what? It is the flow of the solvent through the semi-permeable membrane from a lower concentration to higher concentration. Okay. Reverse osmosis means what? So this is nothing but the flow of solvent from solution, means from higher concentration to lower concentration. So this is known as a reverse osmosis. Here also it is in presence of a semi-permeable membrane only. Semi-permeable membrane it passes then it is a reverse osmosis. But here reverse means it is a reverse. From lower concentration in the higher concentration go. Here higher concentration to lower concentration. So for this you have to apply some high pressure, that is a pressure more than the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure kinta ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ apply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, so we are going to get that is a the reverse osmosis ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so that is known as a reverse osmosis. So reverse osmosis, when a pressure more than the osmotic pressure is applied on a concentrated solution, solvent flow from concentrated solution to dilute solution through semi-permeable membrane. This phenomenon is called as a reverse osmosis. Okay. So reverse osmosis andre no, it is nothing but the pressure, when you apply the pressure more than the osmotic pressure kinta ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ pressure apply ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, so then the solvent will flow from the concentrated solution in the dilute solution. This is very useful to convert the sea water to the drinking water. So in many countries they are suffering, they are facing the drinking water problems are there. So what they are doing, so they are applying this reverse osmosis concept. So they are taking the salt water, that is the sea water, and applying reverse osmosis and that converting into drinking water. That is also called as a desalination. Saline is a salt. Okay, desalination, so removing the salt. So desalination of sea water to obtain fresh drinking water is known as is an example for a reverse osmosis. And here the semi-permeable membrane used is a cellulose acetate. Cellulose acetate membrane is used for this purpose. Okay, so it is used in the desalination of sea water to obtain fresh drinking water. Cellulose acetate membrane is used for this purpose. Okay, so this is about the reverse osmosis. Okay, so osmosis, osmotic pressure, then derivation of osmotic pressure, or say what is isotonic solution, hypertonic solution, hypotonic solution, reverse osmosis, and the application of a reverse osmosis that we have discussed.